Hello everyone. Welcome to this most amazing live stream of BP4 preview. That is the Coronations DLC. It's your boy, Arthur, and with me I have Joachim, which is a design lead on Coronations, right?
Yeah, I was a design lead on Coronations, which means that I'm the one who kind of told people to go and do things, basically.
Yeah, send designers to the content mines, right?
Something like that. Often when you say design lead, it kind of like, oh, you guys are design things, which is not necessarily true. I'm actually lead off the designers, not the,
Yeah,
lead designer.
Being a lead is usually leading other people, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing, right? Think of it as like kind of like an advisory role, I think I would say. So, handling the Jiras and pushing people up to do specific tasks, etc. So that's just how it goes.
Yeah. So today we'll be looking at Coronations.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have actually worked a bit on it as well. So I haven't just told other people to work on it. It's I do recognize it.
Yeah, coming out next week, right? From what I remember.
Yeah, it should be Tuesday.
Tuesday. So Tuesday, this DLC will be available for everyone.
At least that's when we're celebrating. So
that's when the pizza comes in, right?
Exactly. So
I think we can just get right to it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's really funny because you chose Bohemia, and of course that's the go-to
hey man
test case as well. So I having worked in Coronations for the last months, I'm like, yes, and I open the game and I play as Rotislav. Yeah. So it's like every time it's this is exactly what I'm seeing myself. So it's good to be back here again.
Yeah, Rotislav is from what I've also checked it out, is a pretty good start because you have not only you have a liege, you also have vassals, you have random courtiers as well. So we can pretty get some wonky events.
Yeah, of course, right? It's I will say though, those events we added for Bratislava a while back, the little historical events?
Yeah.
After seeing them like several times every day.
Look, PTSD is triggering.
I'm not saying those events are bad, because I actually think they're well-made events, but there's only so many times you can have the same thing.
Enjoying that QA brain rot over there, repeating the same thing and doing the same thing over
exactly.
and over. It's great. I love it. That's my job.
I do actually think it's funny though, because people are like, who is that? I see that in the chat, right? I'm like, well, I am probably more known for my forum name than I am for my face and my actual name nowadays. For the people who see Snow Crystal on the forums, that would be me. I used to only post memes and GIFs back in the day, but then I suddenly got the design lead position, and I felt like I had to actually step up and start putting in real replies. So nowadays I try to be professional, but
if you ever want to get into game development, you just need to post shit posts.
That is how it goes.
And if you're good enough, there's a chance.
Nowadays we have Jonathan taking over the shit posting.
Oh yeah, Jonathan's good at it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I think we can just get right into it.
Yeah, let's go for it. I mean, Rotislav is a good choice to start with, right? Because it basically starts off going directly into grab the double Dutch and then straight into the kingdom and the coronation. So
yep. I have forgot to enable the game in debug mode. Okay, the game is still not running. Okay, good. I can just... This is a professional streaming setup.
I see, it's a professional, yeah, I see.
I need it in debug mode so that I can do debug commands. And we actually get into the fun content instead of just trying to conquer a lot of the stuff, because the coronations are split up in, how do we call it? In two different, not intents.
Oh, the special options, basically,
yes.
Yeah. I think, internally they're called activity options, right? Because they're kind of like, even if they work like other activity options, we just try and kind of show them differently. Usually like special options is what we usually refer to them as.
Yes, and also there is a different type of coronation depending on whether it's for a king or for an emperor.
Only for specific religions though. Yes. So we have like a new religious tenet which kind of like decides it. So it's kind of set up on GameStart, and every religion have like a version of it. So some of them is like, hey, you only have the regular coronations, and then you have Christianity, which is like, hey, you have anointments, but for empires basically, and in technically speaking for hegemonies going forward in EP4 as well. So yeah. Okay, so can we do coronations outside of capital, like in Reims or Wessex, as you said? So I know that there was some confusion about filters for coronations. I saw some people responded to it. I was on my personal account on Reddit, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to log into my work account, so I'm not bothering answering this. I don't want people to actually track down my personal account, right?
Get dogs.
The reality is that we added this new filter specifically for activities, because every single activity had like this filter that they use to kind of figure out where you can hold things, right? For anointments, they're specifically holy sites and capitals and fallback, basically. For regular coronations, it should be realm, if I recall correctly, so that means that you can hold it anywhere in your realm, which means that if you are France and you are like, hey, I want to hold this very like traditional coronation in Reims, then yeah, I'm sure I mispronounced that terribly, it's French, so yeah. But if you want to hold it there, then yeah, you can totally can, right? It's just how it is. And we added this list, basically, of coronation modifiers. So on startup, we have like a bunch of different places that are known for kind of holding like ascension ceremonies, basically, because, you know, we are using the term coronations, but it is supposed to kind of be like ascension ceremonies for kind of stepping up to the throne, which are more like generic, right? Because coronations is very much the European version, basically, right? So then you have like older traditionals in Europe, but we also tried to add a couple of other places that were like, you know, well known for holding like special ceremonies or being like big capitals, etc., right? So we have a couple of them spread all throughout the map. So if I recall correctly, we have Aachen for Germany, we have Milan, we have Rome, we have Reims, we have one for Scotland. I don't remember exactly where it is. And then I believe we have some stuff, I guess we have like Westminster, which would be like London for England, and then we have like a couple of places spread out through the map. So,
there's quite a bit, and I also noticed that they're a bit dynamic as well, because when I've hosted the ceremony back in my own capital, I already got a modifier of, hey, it's a nice setup.
So if you keep holding it in a place as well, so you can be like, hey, I made my new little kingdom of X or Bohemia, as we have the example here, right? Then you can also be like, over time, if you keep holding it there, it will actually be like, hey, oh yeah, this is a well-known kind of location for holding coronations, right? So it's just it's kind of that dynamic, but we figured out, okay, it's supposed to kind of showcase that, yeah, it's some, you know, a world exists before this as well, right? So that's just kind of how it goes.
Yep, exactly. And as you can see right now, I've debugged my way into being a king, right?
Oh my god, you're amazing.
I don't know. QA, man, QA.
QA skills right here.
But we can immediately already see that the Bohemian Court event, we can see all of this text that we are a king in name, however, we need to be officially appointed a king, right?
I mean, this is actually an old event, right? This is the one we had in the game for a while. We just kind of retooled it a bit for people who have coronations. So now it's a bit different. The text is a bit different because giving the new information as well as the old information led to like an actual like chunk of text, right? So we retooled a little bit on the actual event, and then we added some new I think we added one new option, if I recall correctly, which kind of gives a little bit like you can set up and get the crown.
Is this one exactly?
Yeah.
The coronations you can't just make a coronation, right? You have to be a king, but you also need to have either a crown or regalia, if I remember correctly.
It's we changed it a little bit. So originally when we first made the coronation, we wanted it to be like that, but then it was like, okay, it's not actually like always playing well. So what it is right now is that you don't, technically speaking, need a crown if you go for the mediocre activity options. So you basically locked off. So it's like, if you want to have a fancy coronation, then you need a proper crown. And then if you hold like the worst kind of activity option coronation, then they're like, okay, yeah, no, you kind of just, you know, you get something random we found down in the basement. Congratulations, you're the king now.
If you choose the poor option.
Exactly, right? So, if you want to actually hold a proper coronation, then yeah, you're going to need a proper crown, basically.
Yep. I'm just gonna speed ahead here so that the crown happens, as these events are not related to this showcase.
I see someone else if older saves will be compatible. So there's always like this risk of some kind of funkiness. I know that, for example, with the new religious tenets, it won't be properly coming over if you're playing an old save. Though you should be able to, most likely be able to have coronations, and it might lead to some funkiness. I see you got the proper crown now.
As always, we recommend to backing up saves. There will also be a backup option on Steam as well. If you want to finish up your playthrough, we always recommend going with a fresh campaign in every DLC, really.
I see someone saying, so you can just create a kingdom and coronation, don't have to ask Pope or Emperor for proper title of a king or kingdom. So this is kind of the difference between anointments and the regular coronations.
Yep.
I mean, the coronations are kind of supposed to be a little bit more than just coronations as we know them in Europe. They're supposed to kind of be like ascension ceremonies, like I said earlier. If you want anointment specifically, you will have to ask the head of faith. We added a new character interaction. So,
And this is what we mean by coronation and anointment.
yeah, exactly. If you want to hold an anointment, you'll have to ask specifically to the Emperor, hey, can I hold it? And then he'll kind of be like, thumbs up, thumbs down, and then hopefully take part in it.
Yeah, exactly. So let's plan the activity. Let's select our capital for obvious reasons, right?
Yeah.
We have 4 intents here. We have impress attendees, embrace supporters, weaken detractors, and exalt the crown.
Yes.
If you want some real extra swag. We'll see what supporters and detractors are all about in a second, as they're kind of... I've been playing this before the live stream, right? I'm like, I'll just, host an activity. Kaiser himself made a mocking stock out of me in front of my own activity. I'm like, bro, why would you ever do that?
Yeah.
And he was a detractor, right?
Yeah.
I had to kind of tell him, hey, buddy, maybe help me out here a little bit, and then he did.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like a thing going into it that when we decided that we really wanted to, focus on the coronation itself for the DLC, it was like, okay, how can we make sure that some people, stick out a bit, right? So you can kind of see like, hey, these people are... I don't want to say the word troublemakers, but at least,
have their own minds. So
yeah, they have opinions about things, right?
Yeah, I also love that if you really go into, saving money, sure, the costs go down, but you get crowned in obscurity.
I mean, people are unimpressed with your crowning skills.
No, they're not. And also, let's go back a bit, because if we go into realm and it was laws, we can see that
Right, yeah.
if we don't crown, we get penalties.
Yeah, it was a bit of a discussion when we first made this. We were like, okay, how are we actually going to show the, if you're coronator or not, right? Because back in CK2, we used to have like a traits for this.
Yes.
But the reality is that traits kind of gets like, I think we all know that we are getting a lot of traits at the moment, particularly for characters that you have for a long time. It kind of adds up, and this, information kind of disappears a bit. So, we kind of discussed a little bit if there were like natural places to put it. I don't know if necessarily this was the best place, but it's the place we ended up with. I think it kind of serves its purpose fairly well. And yeah, no, we have 3 of them. We have the uncrowned, which is just straight up, yeah, you're not crowned. Then we have the middle one, which is crowned sovereign, which is just like you get it from coronations regularly. And then you have the anointed sovereign, which is like the anointment version, basically. And of course, these are not supposed to necessarily be like the end-all be-all by any means, right? They're a small little extra thing, basically. And of course, the uncrowned is, the ticking legitimacy malice, basically. To be like, hey, by the way, you might want to get crowned, because otherwise people are kind of looking at you a little bit shifty-eyed, like, hey.
As it was in the medieval times as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I kept, telling myself maybe I should have increased it for more than 2.5 a month, but then I got stuck in a really long war at one point, and I think I ended up losing, like, 70 or 80 legitimacy or something, and I was like, you know what, it's fine.
Yeah, I think our players will tell us if the balancing is off or not. I believe it's quite good, as I've said it myself.
Yeah.
But it is, once again, up to the players to decide. We can see who's gonna come over. We can see Kaiser, we can see King of Poland as well, Duke of Venetia. We have... Pope will not be coming over.
No,
He's
I mean, we have a thing that basically we had a problem with the Pope taking part in too many things.
Yeah.
So it was impossible to actually get him for anointments, because he kept kind of being grabbed by people's coronations left and right. So it was like, you're like, hey, Pope man, I need you over here. And he's like, no, I'm actually busy in this dude's coronation over now. And then, it kind of kept being just all over the place. So now he's... aggressively saying no to all coronations except anointments.
It's nothing to snuff at. If you're close, hey, maybe. If you're in Bohemia,
Look, it's across the Alps, and that's a different world.
Yeah,
for him, so, yeah.
Quite literally, man. So we can start our activity. We can see the activity will be split into different sections. There will be people coming over. There will be an actual coronation and discussions about it as well.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna turn into a feast.
Yeah, I mean, that's the 3 phases, right? So we kind of went a little bit back and forth on how to set it up, but we really wanted it to actually be like, it felt a little bit like it had like sections, right? So the first bit is kind of just like, think of it as like when if you go to a wedding or something, you have like a little mingling part beforehand, right? You hang out, you see the person you don't like across the, across the floor, and you
Just like in real life.
exactly right, and then you grab some hors d'oeuvres, you eat a bit, etc., and then you have like the ceremony when everyone comes together to kind of witness the whole thing, and then at the end you have the huge feast.
Yeah, exactly. So we can see over here we also have magnificence. We added it to make it very, very easy how your coronation is actually going.
Yeah.
See also what kind of rewards you get and why you should strive to be, as magnificent as possible.
I mean,
What
it's
a dumb pun, man.
look, we're not being paid for puns, are we? So
I'm QA, man. Hey, I gotta keep up my reputation.
sorry, shots fired.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's. I think the reality is that these these reward track bars is such an obvious, like, easy kind of like visual way of tracking them, right? And I will also say that they are very easy to add. So, don't say that too loud as a designer, and you're like, hey, I need to do something about showing rewards over here. And you're like, okay, you know what? I'll just, this little widget over here. So, it is handy.
It is handy, indeed.
Oh, I see someone else. Now it says 35 out of 100. So here's the thing. I didn't actually change the old ones. When I was working on this, I found it really annoying. I couldn't see the specific number. So I just kind of like changed the description specifically for this one to say the number. I was like, you know what? I'll just change that. And I told myself I would go back and change the others, but I kind of forgot about it. So they still haven't really been changed. That's why they're not in the change log. So,
you know what to do after you come back from the stream.
you know what? Do you have a?
Yeah, you have the sticky notes. I don't have a pen.
There's a pen over there. Let's just write a little note about this,
Here.
I will get back to that actually.
Yeah, let's do that. All right. As we can see, like as I was saying, coronation, the prelude. However, also as I've been saying, we have our supporters that actually want to, help us out with our rule, and the distractors. You can see our rival is over here, and they may be up to some mischievous stuff along the way.
I mean, that is the goal, right? There should always be a bit of a thing where you can kind of like, get a feeling that, hey, there are people who are kind of, agreeing or disagreeing, right? Because usually, like, there's basically two cases, I think, of coronations. It's the, hey, I have just been raised from a duke to a king, and then you could have technically speaking been a duke for a while and have a lot of respect, etc. But I think the more common case is, hey, my father is dead, and damn it, I have a lot to do right now.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the case that we usually go for here. And then, in that sense, you kind of like, you're new to the power, you're new to the responsibility, and, then there's going to be a lot of people who kind of look at your shifty eye, and very often there will be brothers involved in there as well. It's like, hey, they took half the kingdom, and I'm not entirely certain that you should be in charge of the other half.
There are their own stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get into why do some supporters offer support and all detractors disrupt loyalists?
So, I remember setting this up at some point. There is a bit of like how we track things and exactly who is counted for different things. I don't have a good answer.
We'll get back to you on that, Chief. We'll get back to you on that.
Pretty much exactly that. But it's basically the most like obvious thing. So the people who really want to support you, they will often fall to the offer support, whereas the people who are kind of like in the more in-between section are more on the, hey, I will support you, but I will want something out of it, right? So, hey, give me something for it. And similarly, people who really dislike you will be like, hey, I will kind of just disrupt this ceremony altogether and kind of, do what I can to ruin it, basically. So they often end up, that's kind of how it end up.
Yeah. Let's take a look at some of the events that we have in that case.
I mean, there's a fair amount of them that we added for the DLC.
Yep. In this event, for example, right here, we can see we can select our officiator for the ceremony.
Yes.
Let's put on sure, this guy, why not?
Yeah.
Let's put him on. He will crown us and see what's up. And we can see...
yes, the ceremony precedence event.
Yes, as the procession is about to begin, I overhear my cousin Herman and my steward Czeslaw arguing over who will lead the entry into the ceremony. The squabble echoes come across the antechamber. One insists on being the most perceptive, the most deserving. The other claiming it should be the most modest. I am definitely flattered. And we can see also some options relating if we have good enough diplomacy or not. We suck, so...
Look, we have skills, and they're just for different things than diplomacy. And that's fine as well. We're not here to judge people.
Yeah.
We're just saying that Bratislava sucks at diplomacy.
Let's pick Herman over here. I think it's gonna be good enough. The cousin should do it, yeah.
I did see someone ask at the side if we would have to rehold the coronation if you lose your title. And if I recall correctly, I think so. I think that they reset the realm law, so you have to kind of redo it. I think that's, I think that's fine. As a player, I think that's going to be less likely to happen than for the AI.
There's also that flavor of you've lost a kingdom. You've technically also lost the right of rule. You kind of have to prove yourself again and officially be appointed again, right?
Yeah. So I think it's fine. Oh, there's another fun question before we move on. Will Catania finally get his own kingdom? I've actually been playing around with making a decision for them forever. Because it's a well-known area. So, you know what? Since we're doing the whole, writing down things anyways, let me just write down that as well.
No, all of 2 people will enjoy it.
Hey, it is me and it's, I don't know, Layson Volk? Is that how you pronounce it?
It is Layson Volk, yes.
Yeah. And we will be great together. I mean, it's my time, right? So
you guys can play multiplayer together after that decision is added.
Yeah, exactly. Get on time. I did add it for CK2 at some point, so I have a, I have a good thing going there.
Old school in here.
Exactly. But not to get too sidetracked, let's get back to the coronations.
The coronations is for all characters over the world, not just feudal Christians. There's also one event because if you're Orthodox, and for example you switch as Václav to Orthodoxy right now, you get a very special event of the Patriarch himself coming over from Constantinople.
Right, yeah, you do.
You get pretty good bonuses, I'm not gonna lie. It's that nice more flavor. I like it.
It's actually one of the first events we made for Coronations as well. When JMade came onto the project, immediately yes, let's make something funky for Head of Fate coming over. So yeah,
neat. We can have a friend. It's Count Oda. He always he's a mad lad in every single one of my games. You never know what he's up to.
If I recall correctly, these are the events we put up for what's it called again? Guest intents, because all of the guests have been there's events attached to every single type of intent, basically. So you'll have a couple of them pop up, and you can kind of acquiesce or reject them. Of course, with the offer support, they're kind of supporting you for free, so you can't really reject them, right?
Yeah. Why would you? Exactly. Why would you? So we can see Kaiser and King Boleslav came in over. You know what? Let's welcome him.
I mean,
or we can be a snob and just get prestige.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I would usually have gone for the top option. Because let's be honest here, if we do want... I mean, sure, Kaiser Heinrich is one thing, right? But, the Polish king... I mean, who cares about the Polish king's opinion?
Okay, brother. Okay. Okay. I will not stand for Polish slander.
Hey, I'm not slandering Polish people. I'm just saying he's right next to our lands. And, that's just how it goes at times.
And look, our friend Oda is the friendship is already benefiting us. We can get a golden legend. I'll take that. I'll take that so much.
The Crown Brother, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Crown Brother. While I've been busy preparing for my coronation, my brother and friend Count Ota has been really taking charge of things. No servant has bothered me with the... I am seeing that word for the very first time. Straight up, man. In days, and I'm finally able to focus on the upcoming ceremony. He's a truly great brother. Man's exhaust 69 stress.
I see someone ask if a whole coronation that's Asian or Arabian, who's going to crown me? You always have the option of crowning yourself. Sometimes you can just, do the thing yourself. I don't remember if we have the option of doing someone else as an officiator for other places. But if nothing else, at least you will be able to kind of,
Yeah.
Or I guess for they would probably regalia, but then be like, hey, ooh, look at
look at me.
So yeah.
We can always talk about it more doing the forums as well, whenever...
We can actually look at the files and check, it's a bit easy.
Whenever also All Under Heaven starts slowly...
It's also true. There's also, of course, All Under Heaven coming not too far in the future, so it is something to keep in mind as well.
You guys will be able to find out soon enough, in 2 months. All Under Heaven releases.
Do we have an official release date on that, Arthur?
Bring it to him on.
Let's make it a bit vaguer. It's in the 2 to next 4 months. So look forward to All in Heaven
It's
coming
not
to
today.
you.
It's not today.
Coming to you at some point in the future. I don't think the release date is official yet, though. So let's say it's not official yet, but it will come at some point.
Yes. Jacob, don't kill me, please. me googling quickly. Because of our Impress attendees event, we can increase the magnificence as well. Look at that.
Yeah, it is. There's a fair amount of events that is, increasing it, right? So there's a couple of things that increase it beforehand, and then you have a fair amount of events as you go, kind of. And that's pretty much it. And I see we've switched over, so now we're actually starting the proper ceremony.
Yeah, that's right. We're about to get coronated, so that's good.
Yeah, it's now that we're basically like like I said earlier, there's a bit of a switch between them. So the first phase is like very much kind of like the randomized flavor events, basically based on things like most other events, like if someone dislikes you, if someone likes you, who's there, is it a brother? Like the crown brother is specifically for family, right? So if you don't have family there, that fits the kind of like criteria, then that won't happen, etc. And then you have the middle phase, which is very like more like very specific events, right? So there's a very like specific setup of like, hey, you're kind of going through the thing and you're pledging to the different what would be later referred to as the states, I guess. So you have like the bishops, and then you have the nobles, if I recall correctly, and then I think you have the people. So you kind of like, oh yes, I will do this and that. And right now we only have one option. I know there's several options in specific cases. So you have a couple of alternatives. Very often it's just like, yeah, I'm kind of doing the thing, and it's also based on like what kind of character you have, so they can like you more or less, basically. So if I recall correctly, when Jason wrote this, you have like the description of the flavor kind of changes a bit. So if they really like you, they're like, wow, yeah, we're totally like supporting you. And if not, they're like, yeah, yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, there's a noble one.
Yeah, that's a noble one right there.
And you can kind of see them going like, yeah, I feel neither the strain of love nor the tinge of loyalty.
Some vassals, man, some vassals. We can see that also more seniors are coming over to visit us.
Yeah.
Good. I'm honored.
It's actually funny because the first time there were, it was a kind of like a very negative view on the population here. We had to have a conversation, be like, you don't have to like, make fun of the masses necessarily.
Oh the event to just disdain the peasantry.
Yeah, it was just they didn't like you that much. You were like, shitty mass. Right, and the top one is actually quite interesting. So if you look at the top one, we can basically make the crown kind of attached to the title, right? So after this, it'll basically be like, oh yeah, this is the crown that's known for being the coronation crown, the crown of X, basically. So you can be like, oh yeah, this is a crown that will be known as the crown of Bohemia, basically.
Yep, exactly the same way as is the crown of the Holy Roman Empire.
Exactly, right? The Reich crown, is that the name?
Yeah, the Reich crown.
Yeah. So
Reich Corona.
Look, we're not German.
No, we're not.
So yeah.
The Kaiser is a detractor. He does not like us. He's not happy with our coronation.
Which is a bit sad because, in real life, Bratislav was a huge supporter of Heinrich, so they were actually kind of, close-ish, but I guess that was a bit later in the timeline. So, well. And we can see that right before we're about to get coronated, we can also have more demand conversion type, right? Yeah. However... What is the modifier? I don't think I've actually looked at it.
Let's take a look at it.
Wait. No,
I got the wrong settings. I'm not gonna be able to do it. I've made sure that the tooltips don't stay for long enough, so I can't do it. But you know what?
I have a suggestion. Yeah. How about turning off debug mode as well? Because I noticed that in all of our events we have.
That's true, actually. That's good thing that you're telling me. Wait, now I can't enable it again. That's why.
It was all a trap.
It was. And here we can see the actual moment, right?
Yeah.
First come the royal symbols. The glittering sword is.
Oh, I see that Jason has spent some time putting in the little the hover things. So you can get through different things.
The scepter of sovereign authority taken up in my hand. My fingers wrapped around the globus.
I mean, you speak Latin fluently, right?
No, I don't. To my body come Armis and the Pallium, the prayer symbol on.
You know what? That sounded perfect to me. As a fellow Latin speaker.
Thank you. We also have our event focusing on the wife as well.
Oh, right, he added that, yeah. We talked about it, and this actually came in after we were supposed to be done adding events, if I recall correctly. And Jason just kind of like went a little bit rebel and just like, hey, I'm totally fixing bugs. And then suddenly there's a new event coming in.
Jason, I hope you're happy that you have your event in.
And we're like, you know what? It's fine.
It's fine. My wife and my queen. Pick that one. And here we can see the
yeah, the oaths.
The oaths, yeah.
Yeah, we had a bit of a conversation about how to actually show them, because, you know, since there was supposed to be a fair amount of oaths, we want to give people a couple of, you know, alternatives. There's 16 of them, right? I think there's something like that.
There's also, I think, certain circumstances specific as well.
Yeah. I mean, of course, there's a couple of them that's very, very specific. For example, there's, you know, there's a couple here that I know that we don't see, right? For example, the peace one isn't shown at the moment. So there's like, you know, there's a couple one that's like tracking specific circumstances. Like, hey, if this is the case, then, you know, show it or don't show it, right? And they're all kind of like mini goals. I would, you know, I'm not going to say that officially. I grabbed inspiration from the ambitions from CK2 when I first suggested these. But they're kind of like in the same vein, right? So you kind of set yourself a goal that you can kind of be like, okay, it's not like a, you know, the biggest thing necessarily. But it's kind of like a, hey, this is like a short-term goal or a slightly long-term goal. It kind of like sets a tone for your rule, right? So you can be like, hey, I really, you know, I got the an heir that was fantastic at Marsh, and I really want to, you know, go and expand my realm. Then you're like, hey, here's something that can kind of fit into that, right? Or maybe you're like, oh, I'm really like diplomatically minded. Then you can be like, yeah, I try to like secure alliances and look. It's just, yeah, exactly.
It's player choice. You can pick whichever one you want.
And we want them to be a little bit like kind of dynamic, so you know they're not getting too samey necessarily. And you know the goal's a little bit open-minded, so they're not like, hey, go specifically for this thing or that thing. So yeah, it's
yeah. I'm gonna go with Expand Realm. It is the easiest one to show. Had I not disabled the debug mode.
Fair enough. I mean, as the one who made specifically this one, I think this is, you know, a fantastic oath to go for.
Another toll playthrough daring today, aren't
And I mean, of course, the shape of the realm is probably like, you know, if you want to really, you know, spend time building, etc. We have a couple of ones that are very attached to new buildings to support my knights, provide for the poor, and provide for the faithful. They're very like, hey, we open up a new building type and you can kind of focus on them, basically. So they're a little bit more like, a little bit more focused, maybe, whereas a couple of the top ones are usually kind of like a little bit more open-ended. So they'll mostly be there most of the time.
Let's pick the Expand Realm, and after we're...
we can take a look at it after we're done with the...
yeah, I have to restart the game, though.
Why?
I don't have debug mode. I can't enable it.
Well, but look, if you had the skills...
Okay.
Like, I mean, you can look at the oath. We don't have to...
I only have 27 minutes left of the live stream.
Sure, okay. And I mean, actually, I think that was pretty nice about specifically the last part of the coronation, is that we reusing a lot of the regular feast events as well.
Yeah.
So we had the opportunity to now actually expand a bit on the feast events. So what we basically did is that we made a good chunk of new events. That will now also be shown in the feast, if I recall correctly. So we actually got a little bit more of a expanded upon roster of events for the feast. And similarly, we did also have like, okay, you just have like a pretty large roster of events for the coronation, right? So I did the, I want to say math, but it's actually just counting because, you know, you just go through them. I think we ended up with like 90 different events or something I can trigger in this one. So hopefully it's going to not be too samey, basically.
Got a good replay value.
Exactly, right? That's kind of the goal.
You can see that this is the old event, so we can skip that one. This perhaps is...
it's actually a new event.
This is the new
It wasn't
event,
made for coronations, though. We had this workshop about internally to see how you know, if we could make an event in a specific time, basically. And this is the ones that were made. I think it was Veronica who made it.
Nice.
And it was just supposed to be like a small little, like, hey, a quick event where you can kind of put together just to see how it would turn out. I think she did a pretty good job on it.
Yeah, and now we can also see another one.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the coronation ones are a little bit higher rated on, like, because, you know, the way on actions work is that you have, like, a list, right? And then you
Yes.
kind of, like, rate them, like, okay, how likely they are to happen.
Yeah, so that
I think
when you do host a coronation,
Yeah,
you can get
they're more
random
likely to happen, but then
D7.
there's, like, a fair amount of fallback, basically.
Now we can see we feel like doing it 25% challenge.
I mean, 25% every time.
This is the biggest gambler's mindset I have.
I mean, here's the thing.
I'm good. I don't have access to slot machines, but let me tell you, 25% in CK3 happens every time.
I mean, the thing is,
25%
right,
in real life, no.
I would rather go for, like, the 25% and then actually fail, rather going for the 90% and then fail instead.
Hey,
right?
we got it. And
25% every
that's how I
time.
get my worm going on.
And this is the gambler's mindset. You won, so keep winning.
Oh my god. Don't gamble.
Paradox does not officially
No.
sponsor or support gambling.
Everything we say on the live show, and I do mean everything, please take it with a pinch of salt. It's not always official communication. Please refer back to our community manager, Jacob Blakey, for official communication. Now I can say whatever I want.
Also known as Trinix on the forums.
Yes. Exactly.
So remember to tag him so you get that attention from him.
Yeah, he loves answering questions.
And if you don't feel like you get the response the first time you tag him, keep tagging him.
I'm sure Jacob is regretting, you know. We just got, once again, an angry message from our community manager. I think we're doing quite fine.
Honestly, I mean, he had the choice of being here, but he chose to be sick instead. So that seems like a him problem, doesn't it?
Hey, man. Let's keep on going with the feast. Let's see what we have here. We have Count Ota. Hey, man, he already loves that. Let's...
Actually, can we have a look at this one?
Yeah,
I'm
of course.
curious. I was enjoying this wine as I was reminded of the day we became friends. He smiled honestly. I think about it all the time. Oh, how I wish every day could be marvelous. I think this is another one of those from that same workshop that we had earlier as well. So yeah, no, it's
It's
nice
fun
to
how
see.
it also adds on the previous coronation that we just had right now, right?
Yeah. It's nice to see.
Keep on going. More memories.
King's intent. I see.
Yes, I am a proper king now. My coronation proved worthy of my rank. I find spectacle for my guests, many of whom still linger in hopes of final few royal words. From the beginning till end, I spared no effort to impress all of my attendees, friend or foe alike. But my far-handed presence, my utter focus on the success of this great gathering. What was it all for? What do we feel like? Do we feel like culture and cultural acceptance, more faith, opinion, and more legitimacy?
Ooh.
Hmm.
I mean,
Hmm.
I would have probably gone for the last one.
Yeah, that looks good.
I see someone ask if we pushed it to the 9th, the release date, because of Silk Song. We did not actually push it to the 9th because of Silk Song. The 9th has been in the calendar for a good while now. I think the reality is just that due to vacation, it's just a simple fact that, you know...
We have to go through all of our QA processes.
Exactly.
as
There's a
well.
bit of like a timeline we have to pull over, right? So it's like we need to go through all of the bug fixing, etc. So it's just like, hey, we need to fix the bugs and get it ready for release, basically.
Huh?
So it's just, yeah.
And we can see our reign begins.
I actually am a bit sad here. It's like the guests depart, mildly impressed by the ceremonies.
They did not like that. They did not like
If I recall
that.
correctly, it's because of the magnificence.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a lot of magnificence.
Well, I mean, if someone had just held a better ceremony,
I should have greeted the Kaiser and the Polish king. Come on. Man.
that's where it lies.
That's on you. That's on you.
It was a mistake all along. And then, of course, you have a bit of like a list. I always find the conclusion screen to be a bit overwhelming. But I mean, it's kind of just like a, you know, a summary of the things that we've already seen, basically, right? So, yeah.
And now...
And we can have a look at the decision screen.
Yes, our oath, our decisions will now show the oath that we have. We'll show how many more we need to expand into, or the other requirements if you have picked the different oath. And then you can see the modifiers you get from it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's supposed to be a bit straightforward, right? And the way this one works is that...
I'm gonna reset the game now. This is a very tricky way of players not realizing I'm actually resetting the game in the background.
You know what? This is... as someone who hasn't been on stream since the Imperator days, I don't have these skills, but you being able to segue naturally without the players noticing, the viewers noticing that we're doing this, it's actually amazing. But I mean, like I was about to say, at least the way the oath works, the one we had right now, is that it specifically checks how big your current empire kingdom is, and then it will basically set a number as you choose the title. So it's like, hey, if you have 14, then it will basically choose a number. I think it's 25% larger or something, and that will basically be your the thing you go for. Is there a couple of people asking about HRE flavor? We don't really have a lot of HRE flavor specifically for this DLC. I think that the reality is that it's hard to actually fit the amount of things in that we would need for HRE flavor. I think that we all know that the HRE was a unique,
very complex medieval entity.
It's a unique kind of place for good or for bad, right? And I think the reality is that putting it in here and saying, hey, now we have done HRE flavor would be kind of like, dishonest to the HRE as a place. So, I think we would rather say that in the future, we would rather have something that is more focused on it properly, right? Where you can be like, hey, we will actually have a proper DLC that is focused specifically on the HRE, where we can kind of, go into like the large duchies of Saxony and Franconia, the laws popping up over time, the changing from the large kind of like, more centralized state to the more like falling apart in the very decentralized state and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, that's kind of just how it goes, I think.
Now, because the players 100% did not see it coming, neither our community manager, I actually forgot to make a save and I had to redo the whole thing again.
But I'm sure the viewer didn't notice.
Absolutely not. So let's take his run. Let's use our debug command over here.
Excuse me?
No, it says what it is, right? And right now we can see that we can...
Ah, yes, we are now, after a lot of work.
After a lot of years, after a lot of work, we can finally take that off.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's definitely also one of the easier ones and more enjoyable ones, especially if you're playing as a... It'll be very original. Northern Viking.
Yeah.
Where you just conquer everything.
Hey,
That's
Viking in my Crusader Kings? I don't think I've ever seen a player play as the Vikings and start in the 867 and get ludicrously OP and then go on some sort of Varangian adventure, taking over lands and making some sort of ahistorical nightmare zone. What is this? This sounds like a completely new experience to me, Arthur.
Why are you describing me?
So can you click on the change barony?
Of course, yeah.
So what we've added is a little small thing where you can basically, if you click on the barony of Wrocław, how do you say that? You are Polish, right? Wrocław? Is it like a...
Wrocław.
I see. I will just leave it to you because I cannot...
That's why I'm taking over Poland.
Yeah,
see?
exactly. And if you select it...
Yeah, it's right in. Let's see. Select.
So basically, we have like this little thing here, specifically for this oath, where... either it will basically be focused on your capital, and then you will just have like a little of a build up basically of your capital, giving you a bit of development, a little bit of county control, etc. Or it will be able occasionally, I don't remember exactly the requirements, to take like a neighboring area, and then it will basically be you can immediately deter shift that area. So you can be like, hey, I'm on the warpath, and I will make it official that this area is a bit more Bohemian than it is Polish now.
You can see right now the kingdom of Bohemia becomes the de jure.
Yes.
So let's take that. And we can see we get a amazing looking event. My work is done, exactly as I said it would be. I've heard the scorn of my detractors. There certainly I would fail when I sword my oath. But I proved them wrong. And the new day is upon us.
as the one who wrote this event, I have to say this must be one of the better. No, I mean, jokes aside, it's the event is the same between the different oaths, so it's just kind of like, you know, it's kind of like a hey, I did my thing, and yeah, now you can see that we have completely messed up the juror borders. That actually looks a lot less pretty than I expected it to, but
Beautiful. Beautiful.
it is what it is.
What else we can do is we can make an empire and select the anointment option.
Sure, let's go and have a look at it.
We can also select the orthodoxy.
I have actually never tried
See?
it's a new
that's
experience.
What we're here for.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm up for that.
We have to be independent first in order to create an empire. So, Kaiser, I hope you don't mind, fella. Let me just... Please stop bothering me. Sure, why not? Right.
If I didn't know better, I feel like you have seen some of these screens before.
Many years off. Many of them. Man, what being on CK3 since like 2019 does to a person?
Oh, it goes on autopilot so badly.
It does. It really does. Let's see. Orthodoxy. Let's convert to that faith. Let's add a lot of piety.
And I mean, I see that Harm says that it's a bit weird that it changes the jurors, to be honest. I mean, it's a bit powerful, but good news, you have the alternative of just boosting your capital instead. So if you don't want to change your juror, then that is the option you will have. And I believe that the AI will always do it as well. So you won't see the AI changing the juror directly necessarily.
And also we want it to actually feel impactful as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And here we can see that if we were crowned as a king, right? It's not the same as being crowned as the emperor.
No, I mean, it shouldn't be, right? I mean, particularly in the West for the Catholics, it was a big deal. There was only one real empire, so
yeah,
you know, you have to step up and do the job properly.
Also, remember, please, in normal gameplay, you will not, you know, see a coronation after a coronation. It's debug mode. Keep that in mind. We also have to wait a bit because we just done it and the activity has cooldown.
Oh, right. Actually, we have. Can you do me a favor? Because I made a change for this thing specifically. Can you hover over coronation for me?
Over the coronation?
Yeah. So now it actually, I added it to all the activities, so now it actually says how long until the cooldown is over. So if you have a hunt, for example, and you're like, hey, when is the next time I can hold a hunt? Now they will be moved over to an available list, and you can actually be like, hey, it's X amount of time left, and you can just see and hover over it. Someone complained about it on Reddit, and I was like, yeah, you know what? That's fine, we can fix that for you.
I love how we take Reddit's side more than QA's bug reports.
Look,
you will not talk your way out of this. I made that bug report.
Here's the thing, right? There's times where I look at things and I'm like, it speaks to my soul, and I think we all gone in and, you know, clicked on the hunt and be like, how long is left? Oh, it's still 11 months. And then you wait 9 months, it's like, it feels like 11 months. It hasn't been. So
if you really want to, congratulations, you have it here.
I see.
Indeed.
Can you,
I'm gonna ignore that for now.
I was going to ask if you could take a picture and send it to me.
I have a save. I have a save.
Cool. Nice. Then we can have a look at it later.
3 more months. This is a friendship event. We are not interested. Alright. It's all set. So, we now have the armor.
And now,
option.
of course, if you certain areas, it will be like, hey, you can have both the coronation and an anointment. For Catholics specifically, you're Catholic, right?
No, I am on Orthodox.
Oh, you changed over to Orthodox, right? You did say you would. Yeah, then, I mean, I think it's Christians in general, really, for the most part. I think of course, there might be some, you know, faiths or something that might be different, but for Christians in general, then, of course, you will still have to do it. If you don't have a head of faith, then anointments is not an alternative because, you know, you don't have a head of faith. But,
we also have one more roadblock, or a bit of a flavor.
Right, yes.
We have to ask our head of faith for request anointment.
Yes.
I can...
I see. We have yes men on.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I recognize it when you...
There we go.
Yes, of course.
He will accept it. He will accept it, you know.
I mean, is he our vassal?
No.
He's just friendly.
He's just friendly.
Yeah, if he's a vassal, then he, you know, he's a bit more open to doing it.
Hey man, see? It's good.
Yeah, let's go for it.
I have considered your request. I am worthy of the blessing.
Yeah. Are there any unique oaths for titles or cultures? No, there are no title or culture specific oaths. We made them, like I said earlier, we tried to make them a bit open-ended, a bit more dynamic very often, so it's more open for people everywhere. We felt that was a better use of our time than making very specific ones. I can totally see us maybe going back and adding more in the future, though. If we say, like, hey, we're making, say, you know, a theoretical HRE DLC at some point, for example. Say that in, like, 2, 3, 4 years, you're like, hey, you're totally making an HRE DLC, and then that could be an alternative, right?
Remember, theoretical, never say any dates.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, at some point. Or if we made one for England, or for France, or for Poland, or the Baltics, or whatever else, right? We can be like, hey, something that fits really neatly, maybe we find like a, you know, a historical example of something that someone made, then maybe we'll make something there, basically.
Yep. And that was the event I was talking about at the beginning of the live stream.
When he arrives.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I saw this picture of the exact same thing, like the other day. I thought he was a hobo at first. No offense to the patriarch, right? It's just something about his coat that just stuck out to me. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to judge him too harshly.
Medieval people look like hobos. I'm sure all historical reenactors are happy with that statement, me included.
Look, I'm sorry. I see someone asked return the Jur land. I assume that means if they mean an oath for taking back the Jur land, which we did add. So if you're missing like the Jur land from your kingdom, then we have an oath specifically about retaking all of the Jur land.
Remember that also you have other ways of doing it. The gameplay wise, you can just conquer it and let the time pass.
Of course. That is always an alternative as well.
Let's get a dagger. Sure. Why not?
Wait, why did we get a dagger?
He likes us.
That's nice of him.
We are the main character.
That's friendly. I mean, we are at least one of them.
Yeah, we are at least one of them.
I see we have, you know, as you can see earlier, someone commented about the offer support and the destructive loyalist. I can see we have one that is bear witness as well this time.
Yeah.
So it's not always the same. It's occasionally some of them stick out as well.
You know what? Let's start the learn language scheme.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You like language in the game?
Yeah.
Yeah? There was a pretty funny meme on the Reddit. Yeah, I think it was yesterday.
You know, it's gonna be bad when we start talking about memes.
Look, it was a language learning channel where someone was like, I can't fit more than X languages in my brain.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is the most CK ever. I can totally see why it ended up on the CK Reddit. It was, I started sending it to everyone else as well. It is funny.
You can get a friend from Świętosława. I always love doing live streams with Polish flavor because I know nobody else can pronounce that.
Yeah.
And it's just funny seeing like, oh yeah, what's the that count over there? Yeah, that land over there.
Yeah, we have a couple of people around the office that does the different like localizations, etc. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know, I'm a little bit jealous of them. Then again, I've also seen that you know, I don't know. I guess I'm just used to the English, I guess. It's
the English just randomly spawns in the head.
Exactly.
It does though.
A crowned crowd. Right, it's the same we had earlier with the two kings. I know this one, well, the king and the patriarch in this case. Caesar and the patriarch, yeah.
Yeah, I think we should welcome them. I think let's welcome them this time around. Right.
It's a pretty like highly rated one because you know having like several kings etc. is not necessarily that easy. So yeah.
Indeed.
I see that people start talking about like, oh, I want this DLC or that DLC. Well, if you want to cover a specific DLC, please feel free to go onto the forums and
spam our community manager.
Yeah, tag Trinix, I believe in 2 X's, to make sure that it is picked up by our community team and they can make it back to the team.
Yes, indeed. The Emperor's Might. This is one of the fun ones. We can get a duel with someone. Simply because, you know.
This duel is to the death. I mean...
Let's do it.
It's a kind of a sad thing, though. If you're, like, you know, failing a duel at your own coronation. Talk about shameful.
Let's see. I don't want to pick every single answer that always gets me the win.
Yeah.
It's engraved in my brain at this point.
I'm going to be honest with you, I never actually sat down and did the what is the right answer here. So yeah.
I'm that good.
I will say, so you know, I really like the armor that we're wearing as in
Nice.
it. It's part of the one of the new clothing packs, right? That we added?
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah. He did such a good job on that. It looks so good.
And then we can see
I see.
also.
Now we have a couple more options.
We have a couple more options, right? We can see which crown we want because we have multiple of them.
It is pretty nice.
It is nice. Let's go with this one. The blessed word is mine to spread. It sure is. Or whatever.
Oh, supreme anointment.
Yeah, let's do that. And that's the coronation once again.
Yeah.
So we have 5 minutes left. Let's
just talk a bit. Ah, there we go.
See, with a press of a button, I am a professional streamer.
Yeah, it was definitely not someone who helped us out right before the stream and went through this little Steam Deck like repeatedly.
Love your stream support. So yeah, that was the Coronations DLC.
Yeah,
coming out this Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good like focused pack. Like, I mean, it's the 4th event pack we made, right? The first 2 were very like open ended with like a very like you kind of get little bits of content here and there. And then we had BP3 with the Wandering Nobles, which was like, you know, very, very focused around the lifestyle. And now we have everything kind of focused around the activity. I think it's
and the Coronation nonetheless, which was actually asked by community quite a bit.
I mean, the real, like, I still remember the meeting where we actually decided this, because we were like, you know, originally it was supposed to be something else, and then we decided to scrap that idea, and we were like, okay, what are we actually doing for this DLC, right? And I'm like, okay, what if we just do Coronations, because people have been asking for them for a long time, and it's not really in the plans anywhere else, you know, because, you know, we had Council of the Steppe, then we have All Under Heaven, and then we have the plans that we have for next year, right? Which also doesn't really touch on Coronations. So you're like, okay, what if we do something that, you know, this opportunity to kind of stick it in, basically, because we have this, like, slot that we, you know, need to fill with an event pack. You know, we've had a couple of alternatives. I think it was, like, an interesting experiment. So I'm interested in seeing how people feel about it as, like, a, you know, slightly more engaging activity, basically, with, you know, a little bit more stuff in it. So it's going to be... I'm actually very excited to see the feedback. I know there will be some positive. I know there will be some negatives.
I think it fits quite well in the activity.
Yeah. I think it is. I think it's pretty good. I like having the kind of focus. Like, yes, this is the kind of thing you get, right? So if you end up picking it up, if you are like, hey, I either, you know, bought the whole pack at the start of the year or something, or you say, hey, I actually want to play it just to play it, then please leave some feedback, and we will be interested in hearing what you have to say, because it's going to be nice actually getting that feedback, and we can, you know, taking it in and
seeing what community wants.
Exactly, right? Because that is, at the end of the day, we are selling it for the community. So yeah. I see someone ask, how long is the coronation? Month 2 or 3? I think it's I mean, there can be a pretty long like waiting time leading up to it, because we want to grab everyone to get in, right? But yeah, no.
Yeah. If you have any more questions, remember that forum is always open. Our wonderful community manager is happy to answer all of the questions.
I see someone saying, Joachim, please stop saying you know. See, the problem is, as soon as you start saying it and you start thinking about it, then it's impossible to stop saying it.
It's all over.
You know.
I think that's a bait. I think that's a bait. Right. But yeah, that was the DLC. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you all for coming here.
Yeah, it was great. And like I said earlier, remember, if you have something, tag Trinex with 2 X's to get the feedback into the team's hands.
Yep. Take care, everyone. See you on the forums. Bye.
See you around.